Welcome to Finan Simple, where money is made easy. Let us take you through what Robert Kiyosaki has to say on the best way to generate passive income. In this video, he will explain what his mindset is towards credit and debt. How has credit evolved in today's world? How has debt grown over the past few years? How has it affected the lives of everyone? Sit down, relax, and listen to the discussion of Robert Kiyosaki. Let's get started.
If you're going to be educated, a person has to know the difference between credit and debt. And that's why I'm mentioning the demographics, because the average person is not smart enough to handle that. All money today is credit. It doesn't exist. Credit is very simply the power to spend. That's all it is. So when you have a credit card, there's no money in that thing. They've just given you the power to spend. And the moment you spend it, you create debt. Debt is a four-letter word for most people. There are many people in my position, so-called financial gurus, who say live totally debt-free. And there's other people who say cut up your credit cards. And that's good advice for certain types of people. So you should definitely cut up your credit cards if you can't control your spending. Well, the reason the rich don't work for money is number one expense is tax. See, there's three kinds of income: earned, portfolio, passive. So earned income is if I get a job, that's earned income. If I'm a doctor or a programmer, that's earned income because I'm working for it. If I buy, let's say, Apple for $10 and I sell it for $20, that's portfolio income, capital gains. But passive income, which is cash flow, is never taxed. So it's not, so these guys are screaming right now in America, tax the rich. I said, good luck. Because most of the guys complaining, they don't know there's three kinds of income. And the rich don't have jobs anyway. They have assets. And so the average schmo out there, poor guy, sent the kid to school. They don't learn this. So that's why in Fake, as you were talking about it, there's a newspaper article about Jared Kushner. And he explains how the Trumps and the Kushners don't pay taxes and make millions of dollars. And the reporter couldn't understand him because our schools will never teach you that three types of income. So rich don't work for money. And most people don't understand that because they've already been genetically programmed from parents and schools to go to school and get a job and work hard for money. Now, the harder you work for money, the poorer you get. And the reason for that is money was designed to steal our wealth. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing because it makes me richer. But like the yin and yang of life, everything has opposite sides. So everything that rich dad taught me was opposite of what my poor dad was a school teacher, good people, but they don't know anything about money.
Robert Kiyosaki highlights the presence of the three kinds of income: earned, portfolio, and passive. Moreover, he emphasizes the significance of the emergence of passive income. It has certainly become a medium that only the wealthy can benefit from, as the average person won't be able to fully take advantage of. What's his advice on this? Let debt work for you. There is nothing wrong with borrowing money, as that is how Kiyosaki got rich. However, there are kinds of debts that you should take note of, and that is what he will go over next. We won't hold you back any longer. Let's return to his discussion.
So on one side, my poor dad's always saying, work hard, go to school, get a job, save money, and get out of debt. On the opposite side, the yang side, no, don't do that, So when I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it was about the opposites. That's all it was. And the rich don't work for money. The richest people in the world don't work for money. But the average person, that's not part of their consciousness. Debt is a four-letter word for most people. There are many people in my position, so-called financial gurus, who say live totally debt-free. And there's other people who say cut up your credit cards. And that's good advice for certain types of people. So you should definitely cut up your credit cards if you can't control your spending. You should definitely. But I don't know how people live without credit cards. I don't know how you can check into a hotel, rent a car, or go shopping and go out for dinner, but you should cut up your credit cards if you're a shopaholic. That's good advice. And the other thing about debt, there's good debt and bad debt. And if you only have bad debt, which I classify student loan debt as bad debt, the main reason it's bad debt is because it's the worst possible type of debt. You see, if I get into trouble as a businessman with debt, I can declare bankruptcy and I'm clean. But the trouble with student loan debt, you can't do that. You know, it hangs around your neck for the rest of your life. So if you're a student, you shouldn't take on student loan debt unless you absolutely 100% guaranteed that you will commit to graduating. Well, there's always three sides to a coin, you know, heads, tails, and the edge. You know, so which side of the coin are you on? From my side, it's fair. But this is the difference. Everybody can do the same thing I do because the tax laws are for everybody. You know, we don't say, well, the tax laws are only for the rich. No, the tax laws are for everybody to use if you have the right financial education. And the reason I'm an advocate of financial education, without that education, you'll have to pay taxes. You see, very few people will buy what I do, make $1 million and pay zero tax. That takes, and my rich dad taught me that playing Monopoly. That's how it started, you know, 4 greenhouses, 1 red hotel. Or the McDonald's formula. I write about it here. McDonald's, Ray Kroc.
After worrying about debt, you must then think about taxes. They're a huge burden, right? Well, Kiyosaki has another tip that can help minimize the effect of taxes on your financial capability. However, it is something again that only those with expendable funds can do. But there is also an opportunity for you to enhance your financial education and learn how to be smarter with your money. This way, you might just become like them and become filthy rich.
McDonald's is in the real estate business, so they sell hamburgers, but they buy real estate, so they pay no taxes. Taxes are incentives. The reason I get tax breaks for real estate is because I provide housing. I get tax breaks for providing jobs. I get tax breaks for providing oil, and I get tax breaks for providing food. But most people see me as a crook. I'm not. The U.S. government wants me to provide housing, wants me to provide jobs, wants me to borrow money, because that's how money is created through debt, and provide oil and food. I get huge tax breaks. Everybody can do the same thing if they had the financial education to do it. If people understood the tax code, we'd be more prosperous. I don't save money, and I use debt to get rich. I also, in Fake, I read about the infinite return, whereas the higher your financial IQ, you don't need money. So if you need money, you're not using your brain or something, you know, because it doesn't take money to make money. And that's one of the biggest lies they tell you. So since 1973, I use debt. I use my own money. I just borrow money to get rich. So many people want to get rich, but they have horrible teachers. And then they work for fake money. The US dollar is fake. They print trillions of it every month or day, you know. And then you buy these fake assets. I don't touch that stuff, but the average person should. So that's why demographics and a person's desire to be rich is probably more important than their education. If you're going to be educated, a person has to know there's between credit and debt. And that's why I'm mentioning the demographics, because the average person is not smart enough to handle that. All money today is credit. It doesn't exist. Credit is very simply the power to spend. That's all it is. So when you have a credit card, there's no money in that thing. They've just given you the power to spend. And the moment you spend it, you create debt. And then a debt is this contractual agreement that you'll pay it back. Now the trouble is, most people ain't paying it back. Look at the student loan crisis we're in, which was brought about by Obama. I'm not Republican or Democrat, but the student loans used to be with the big banks. Today, they're with the U.S. Treasury. And the U.S. Treasury started taking in student loan debt, giving them credit, and now student loan debt is bigger than the subprime crisis that brought down the market in 2008. That's financial education.
That was Robert Kiyosaki's take on the best way to generate passive income. He also introduced the concept of 3 types of income and how individuals like you can maximize the potential of passive income. It is certainly not a simple feat to understand, but the importance of being financially educated is highly crucial, especially in today's economy. Let yourself get ahead of the curve and be prepared for any coming occurrences in the market. Always stay focused on learning and developing discipline. Get educated, make a plan, and stay the course. If you found this informative, smash the like button, please share it with a friend, comment down below, and let us know what would you like to have made finance simple next. And definitely subscribe so you don't miss new content. Keep your head up, ears open, and always search for knowledge. See you soon.